It has been a very interesting few months and especially few weeks for Hyliion. Now, if you are new to the channel, you may not know, but if you've been around for a little while, Hyliion consumed my channel for at least a month straight. When I tell you guys I was pumping out Hyliion content like it was nothing, I'm talking every single day we had news, updates, articles, the whole shebang. Well, strangely, in the last few weeks, it has been really quiet. We haven't been getting much news, not many updates, not much press. It has been dead silent. So of course it did reflect that on my channel. There really wasn't much content for me to post. So I didn't want to just keep, drying you guys out with every single week just talking about what the stock price did. So I did take a little bit of break from the Hyliion content. It does seem like we may be starting to get a little bit of news and some pickup here. So it would be nice if maybe I could get back to posting 1 or 2 videos a week just to keep you Hyliion investors on my channel up to date on what is going on. But today we did get some pretty good news, and so I did want to make sure that I updated you guys and brought it to your attention and let you guys know what I thought about all this news and let you know what I was going to be doing with Hyliion and letting you know the plays that I was going to make whenever it comes to Hyliion stock. If you are excited for today's video, if you do find it valuable or entertaining, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Again, we did get monetized today, and it is probably the weirdest, most amazing and gratifying feeling that I've ever had. This is something we have been working for a really long time, and so I do appreciate each and every one of you who's been on the channel, who drops that like button, who subscribes, who leaves comments, and gives me feedback and criticism to help me grow. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will always be forever grateful for all of you who does show my channel support. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump straight into it. Let's go see what this article is talking about and what some of this Hyliion news is. So here we are on the article here. We are on Business Wire that was linked from their website. And as we can see, it does say that Hyliion today announced the successful exercise of the public warrants that expired on December 30th, 2020. Now, a few highlights from this transaction are that approximately $142 million in cash proceeds received upon exercise of public warrants for approximately 12.5 million shares of common stock. Over 98.5% of the public warrants exercised prior to expiration. Now, we do have a quote here from Thomas Healy, and it does say that the successful exercise of these warrants and resulting capital raised allows Hyliion to accelerate its investment in technology, talent, and infrastructure towards achieving the company's mission, said Thomas Healy. This incremental capital allows us to pursue additional partnerships and M&A activity that we may not have considered previously, and I think that this right here is super duper important. Hyliion's mission is to become the leading powertrain provider of electrified solutions for the commercial vehicle industry. The results of the redemption are an important step along the commercialization path for Hyliion as it continues executing against reducing the carbon intensity and greenhouse gas emissions of the transportation sector. Now, this is where it gets very, very important, so definitely do pay close attention to this. It does say that we see a tremendous number of opportunities in the transportation sector that are ready to participate in this electrification transformation. Over the next year, we will explore additional technologies and business synergies that could range from improving our existing solutions, renewable natural gas expansion, hydrogen development, improvised battery solutions, and expanding our product portfolio and more. Again, expanding our product portfolio and more. One risk that has been associated with Hyliion a lot recently is the fact that people believe that the problem that they are making a solution to will only be a problem temporarily. When the time comes that a lot of these Class 8 trucks and these semis do full, the majority of them are all electric, then we might see that Hyliion's powertrain and its ability to convert these trucks is going to not necessarily really be needed. Now, that's understandable, and we can see that that could be true whenever it comes to this specific powertrain that they are working on, the Hypertruck ERX. Well, the issue with that is you are then putting them into a box of constraint of only the Hypertruck ERX. I said it over and over and over again that this company they're phenomenal. They have a very amazing team. They have a great management team, and they have a lot of great science and technology going into them. Now, the thing about that is, though, whenever you take the fact that they are growing out this Hypertruck ERX, and they're working on it, that doesn't mean that that is the only product that they will ever produce ever. So whenever it's not necessarily needed as much, then they will just disappear. No, they are going to use the funding. They are going to use investment money, and they are going to use their extra cash in order to create a higher product portfolio. They are going to work on expanding out and focusing on creating other solutions for other problems that are going to be associated with this industry. Now, I've said that over and over and over again, and so now that we can finally see Thomas Healy really start talking about expanding out their portfolio, because correct me if I'm wrong, but this may be one of the first times that we see him actually talking about expanding out the portfolio and actually creating other products. And so that is a very, it's a big sigh of relief as an investor, knowing that they are not just trying to be satisfied and settle on this one product. So I do have the chart pulled up here just to kind of take a look at some of the trends that we are seeing with Hyliion here. So of course it had its, announcement that it was going to go public sometime around in June. We saw that initial going up party. We saw everything going great. Ooh, having a great time. And then of course it came falling down as it does whenever these SPACs start to, have all their initial news and everything. Well, from there, whenever it had its merger and we saw all of this start to finally unravel, we saw it fly all the way up to about $55 at its peak, and then it was pretty much absolute death from there, right? We had a little bit of volatility here. This downtrend began, and then the downtrend it just went completely straight downward. We saw short volume increase. We saw this thing absolutely getting destroyed. Now, coming into November, it did seem as if we were starting to catch some upward momentum, that we might have reached a bottom, especially right here around this $18 mark, as many of us did believe that the $18 to $19 mark could be a very, very strong resistance, considering that in July and August, it didn't really go under it. Well, after we had a few weeks of good momentum, well, of course, it did start to fall again. We broke through this resistance and we fell all the way down to about the $17 to $16 mark. Well, at one point reaching about $15.33, that was the biggest, the lowest part that we saw it reach. Now, if I go back out to a month, we can see that it is currently sitting on a 3-day good streak. From January 4th to 5th to 6th and to 7th was 3 days in a row that we saw this thing in the green. Now, the interesting fact about this whole situation is that there has not been 4 consecutive days of growth for Hyliion ever since this original uptrend right here. So what that could potentially mean, just whenever it comes to checking the charts and watching these patterns, is that this could be a good sign that we are reaching a bottom here and that we may see a bit of a reversal coming. Now, of course, that is all hypothetical and it's all speculative. We could see this thing absolutely fall, as I am recording this on January 7th. So when it gets uploaded, this thing might be at $16. Who really knows what it's going to do? But I do believe that if we start to see this have another couple days of growth, that we really may have seen the bottom here and that we could see this reversal start to happen. So whenever we do take a look at the short volume, we can see that it is actually not too bad, especially in comparison to what it was about 3 to 4 weeks ago. It was all the way up there. We were seeing days like these of about 3 million. Well, it does seem like over the last few days, we have seen this thing really slow down, especially on the 5th, seeing that it went all the way down to about 445,000. Now, total volume on this day was lower, so of course we would see a bit of a drop, but even the short volume ratio did go down a substantial amount on that day. Now, today was a little bit different. We did see the short volume increase up to about 18.54, but at the end of the day, we are seeing these numbers slowly start to fall, and it would be nice to see these starts to stop breaking that million-ish and start to focus maybe on that 800,000, 700,000 range. Hopefully at that point, we will see some of these shorters start to get out of this stock. I do believe that once they are less successful in beating this thing to the ground, they may find another place to go try to make some money, and then at that point, we could see this thing, especially once that happens, we could really see it start to revert. Let me know what you guys do think about Hyliion at the moment. Are you getting in now that we could potentially be seeing this thing trough out, maybe reach its bottom and could, potentially see a reverse? Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is solely just my opinion, so you should take it with a grain of salt. But if you guys are getting in, if you do have holdings, if you sold and you plan on getting back in, definitely let me know how you guys are playing Hyliion down below. I'm very curious to see what your intentions are. With that being said, that will be the end of today's video. There wasn't too much information given with everything about the warrant, so I did just want to make sure that I went over that. I gave some future outlooks on what this could necessarily mean for the company and the fact that it does cancel out some of those risks that we were kind of worried about a few months ago. So definitely let me know what you guys thought about all of this information down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy today's video and you find it valuable or entertaining, you can let me know that by smashing that like button and the subscribe button. We are running up on 2,000 subscribers very fast, and at 2,000 I do have a nice surprise for you guys. So let's try to get that maybe by Monday or Tuesday. That would be absolutely amazing. With that being said, I have been posting about 2 to 3 times every single day, so I'm sure I will be seeing you guys soon. Peace.